Part 2. Verdant Wind. Lone Moon. The Rose-Colored River. The Alliance army successfully rendezvous with Judith in Aelel. With the addition of House Daphne's forces, the time has come to invade Empire territory.
Preparations are complete. Now it's a game of patience. As they say, good things come to those who wait.
Care to elaborate on this plan of yours, Claude? Can we really do this without battling my father?
Pretty soon, Count Gloucester will need to gather his troops in the northern part of his territory. The kingdom has experienced constant infighting since the coup. They're out of the picture for now.
The combined forces of the Regan and Daphne houses will threaten the northern part of the Gloucester territory. Nardell, that retainer I mentioned, is going to draw their attention.
We'll take that opportunity to make our way through Gloucester territory and launch a surprise attack on the Great Bridge of Myrddin.
And are you not concerned about the possibility that I may tip off my father?
The future of the Alliance rests on this battle. I'm certain you won't betray us.
I will ensure our success.
I know you will. If we can win this fight, then our next goal will be to topple Enbar, the Imperial capital. I said before that my plan was to meddle with the Empire, but I'm gonna do you one better. We are going to defeat the Empire, once and for all. But to do that, we can't afford to slip up here. Bear that in mind and prepare yourselves for the coming battle.
Professor, I asked to be on the sidelines. Why did you put me on the battlefield? You did protect me, so I guess I can't complain. Wait a second, you're hurt. Did that happen when you were defending me? Oh, you're lying. How could you be so reckless? Perhaps you'll say that that's what friends do. They look out for each other and save each other. But if I saw you getting attacked, I wouldn't risk my neck to save you. No, don't overestimate me. I don't know if I've told you this, Professor. I have a very impressive big brother. I'm not just saying that. He's strong, smart, nice. He's basically perfect. Before Claude turned up, people talked about him becoming the next leader of the Alliance. Don't mention that to Lawrence, by the way. He never shuts up about that kind of thing. Anyway, my parents have high expectations for my brother, and he almost always meets them. No one expects anything of me. If something's even a little bit difficult, I find someone else to do it for me. That's what I've done my whole life. Of course! I can't stand the idea of not meeting someone's expectations. I know how people react when that happens. From watching my brother, I mean. People force their expectations on you, and then if you fail, they look so disappointed. Whenever that happens to my poor brother, he looks just devastated. So don't expect anything of me, please. That way, I can't disappoint you. You're stubborn. Okay, fine. Keep believing in me. I do want to support you and support my friends. I just don't want to let you down.
Hey, Claude. Care to pick up where we left off? I got some time to kill.
You'll have to kill time on your own, I'm afraid. My calendar's full at the moment.
Ah, don't be like that. You're not afraid I'm gonna expose your true identity, are you? I would never. Besides, my own bloodline isn't so lofty that I can get away with something like that.
I bet your father would just love to hear you say that. And the Albrecht family is from a distinguished noble house, so I'm not sure what you mean.
Not as distinguished as you would think. And my mom wasn't born a noble.
Ah, the plot thickens. So, your mother was a commoner then?
In a sense, but it's complicated. Listen up, and I'll tell you a little story. You know Kupala, yeah? Those folks have been living in the mountains of Fodlan's Throat for ages.
I know it well. Tales of that place were carried on the wind to where I grew up. Here's my favorite. In a land surrounded by tall mountains, untouched by civilization, lies a hidden village. The people who live there, the mystical Kupala tribe. They say that an ancient and powerful bloodline runs through their veins to this very day. Don't try to find them, people say, or you're liable to get hexed. Or so the tale goes. That part was probably added to spice up the story a bit, but even so, there's certainly a mysterious lot.
They don't leave their homeland too often, so it's only natural that strange rumors would arise.
And your mother, is she really some kind of Kupala princess or something?
Not a princess, but she was born and raised there. She left, got lost, and was rescued. By my dad. He fell head over heels for her. Made her his wife. That's when her troubles really started.
Did your father tell anyone where she was from?
Of course not. But it didn't matter. She was still a stranger of questionable lineage. The family treated her horribly. That eventually led to them splitting up and my dad remarrying.
That's not an uncommon circumstance for a noble house. Where is she now?
With nowhere else to turn, she went back to Kupala, even though my pops tried to convince her to stay.
I'm guessing you two left for much the same reason. Too hard to put up with the foul treatment, right?
That's part of it. If my mom had been Fodlan nobility, my life would have been very different. So, what do you think? Did I drum up some empathy? After all, half of your blood comes from...
I hear you, Balthus. Can't say I don't empathize, though our circumstances are pretty different.
So you admit it then! I knew I was right about you. My instincts are second to none.
Your instincts, right. Look, if it makes you happy, you just go on believing whatever you want.
I'll do just that. Say, Claude, it'd be a shame if your true identity was exposed, yeah? Real shame. I'm thinking you better... set up a meeting between me and your mom? She was my first crush, after all. I had it bad for her back in the day. I'm still haunted by the fact that I never had the chance to tell her.
That's... bothersome. And that aside, you do know that time didn't exactly stop for her, right?
Not a problem, pal. Age is beauty.
Where are you going, Ingrid?
Oh, hi. I see you spotted me. Saw me. I don't want to disturb you.
Don't worry. I just finished my painting of St. Seros.
Oh, that's wonderful. May I see?
Of course. Take a look.
Whoa. She looks so different from the other painting. Much more divine and gentle.
She looks so real, doesn't she? So alive. Perhaps it's boastful for me to say that.
Not at all. She really does. She has a glowing vibrancy to her. Looking at this painting, I feel so inspired.
I was going to paint her as loving and benevolent, but then I remembered your idea, and I decided to depict her fighting for her people.
Really? Actually, now that I look closer, I see her sword is rather large, and she seems to be in a battle stance.
That's right. Although, of course, I had to discard some of your more absurd suggestions.
I'm sorry about that.
No, wait! That's not what I meant. I see that if I open myself up to suggestions from other people, new things become possible. And I have you to thank for that realization.
If that's true, I'm very glad I could help. You made a good point. We can't be blinded by our own thought patterns and ideas. It's important to be open to others as well. By doing so, we discover new paths for ourselves, and we can become better in ways we may never have imagined.
Exactly.
Thank you, Ignaz. You've reminded me of a very valuable lesson. I'm going to strive to be more attentive and listen to other people's ideas.
Me too. And I've just had a new idea for a painting.
I can't wait to see it. I bet it'll be a masterpiece.
If our plan succeeds, we'll arrive at the Great Bridge of Myrden unscathed. The important part is what happens next. We're evenly matched in terms of military power, more or less. So if we can just launch a surprise attack... I wouldn't be so sure. That bridge is almost like a fortress. The defense there is rock solid. But that's why you're here, Teach. No matter the odds, you're the wild card we need to win.
I don't know where he recruited that man, but Claude's got an eye for great talent. I'm talking about his retainer, Nardell. I've only spoken with him briefly, but he seems to have a fair amount of both brains and brawn, with the skills to match. But there's something about him I can't quite place, like I've somehow heard of him before.
So, that was Judith. Just as I'd heard of her, she was an upstanding person. The same Daphne blood runs through my veins, and yet I feel as though I am nothing like her. I am but a phantom of what could be. You think so? Wow, thank you.
I'm sure you know this already, but House Ordelia is aligned with the Empire. They face the Empire from across a river, similar to the Gloucesters. Even so, I refuse to yield to the Empire a second time. The Empire did unthinkable things to my family, and to me. The only option here is winning. Professor, you must promise we will overcome the Empire. Legend says that pillars of light fell and ravaged ALL. I was reminded of that when I saw it. Professor? Do you think those legends are true? I think so too. I don't know if the goddess really destroyed the valley out of anger, but there are still so many things we don't understand in this world.
I would like to believe that I've always made my own decisions. Even so, I cannot deny that some small part of me has always been aware of my father's wishes. Now here I am, concealing our plan, Claude's plan, from his sight. Quite the contrary, honestly. I feel as though a fog has finally lifted from my eyes. In this fight, I will finally stand upon my own 2 feet, independent of my father's influence.
Judith is a wonderful person. So strong and confident as well. Looking upon her, I am sharply reminded of my mother. Very much so. Both brilliantly bright and positive, like a warm ray of light. I lost my mother long ago. I miss her desperately.
It's thanks to you that I'm here now. I owe you, Professor. You saved my life. I swear I'll do all I can to repay that debt.
Things have gotten a lot more interesting since we've joined up with Judith, haven't they? Anyone who casually treats Claude like he's just some kid is not a person to be trifled with. I think Captain Gerald would have liked her. I hope someday I can be as strong, kind, and level-headed as her.
Thanks to all that food from Judith, I'm full for once. I've got so much energy. Let me at that great bridge of Murden. I'll bust it down myself. Oh, but then how do we cross?
It looks like people are slowly starting to come back to the town. I guess they feel safe now that you and the Knights of Seros have returned. Peddlers have become more common too, so there'll be food and supplies available. After being run down for all those years, it's really becoming livable again.
What used to be Eyre territory lies far to the east of the Great Bridge of Murden, downstream of the Aramid River. For the sake of my family, I wish we could invade the Empire from there. But I do not have the power to advocate for that. Strategically, Murden is more important. Thank you, Professor. I will not give in. Not until I have restored my noble pride.
Lady Rhea is in the Empire, isn't she? We should hurry up and find her. So many people in the monastery and nearby towns are worried. I want to ease their minds as soon as possible, Professor. Let's work together to find her.
The Great Bridge of Murden isn't just a bridge. It has the features of a fortress. I believe it was built for military purposes by the first leader of the Adrestian Empire. In other words, it's even older than the monastery. So, if we occupy the Great Bridge, we'll have to search it from top to bottom.
Is it true Lady Rhea was dragged off by the Imperial Army? I heard that was true. Why'd they take Lady Rhea? Professor, they didn't take her to kill her, did they? That's good. We just gotta beat the Imperial Army and get her back, right? You gotta help her, Professor. I'm begging you.
Damn. Would have thought that House Row would show up. They must have been sweating blood to get to Ayla from way out there. Guess it's been a while since I left House Row, so it doesn't bother me much to have to fight them. Kinda always knew I'd be the one to take that stubborn old donkey out. I've been ready for this.
Huh. That lady hasn't changed a bit since I was a kid. Still intimidating as hell. What a woman. Being me, I'm not nervous or anything. I'm not sure how to approach her. That's all. My luck, she'll treat me like I'm still a kid, even though I'm clearly a full-grown adult man. If that's the angle she takes, maybe I can get some nice hugs out of this. Huh? Oh, nothing.
I've never met someone like Judy. She's easygoing, but at the same time, tough as nails. I bet she'd be real fun to hang out with. Judy's great, unlike that other guy, Lord, what's his name? I can't stand people like him. People who think they're always in the right. All he did was make trouble, but he convinced himself it was for a good cause. So infuriating.
Invading the Empire at last, are we? I cannot still the wild palpitations in my chest. I have made myself ready to the extent that I could, but now that the day draws near, I fear that to proceed will be to abandon all hope of restoring the Imperial House of Nouvelle, which leaves me with no choice but to appeal to you and Claude for that. My dream is in your hands.
Hey, Professor, can we talk? I feel terrible about the last time we spoke. I was trying to apologize and just ended up losing my temper again. I'm really sorry. I figured you'd say that, but I still feel like an idiot. Somehow, I just have a hard time keeping my feelings in check around you. And I think if I don't just tell you what I'm thinking, we'll never be able to have a normal conversation. So, let me clear the air. I want us to, engage. Yeah, exactly. I know it's a sudden thing to ask, but I'm not going to feel settled until I know where I stand. Would you do that for me? Good. Don't hold back, okay? I want to see you at your absolute best. Phew. You got me. I'm completely outmatched. Maybe. But you were definitely stronger. Honestly, that's what I needed to see. You're a true successor to Captain Gerald's style of swordplay. I almost felt like you were him. I thought I was competing with you. But that's as pointless as competing against him would have been. So instead of that, I'm going to focus on keeping the promise I made to him. Captain Gerald said that if anything should happen to him, I'd have to support you in his place. He didn't sound serious at the time, but it was right before he... before we lost him. So, I've decided. I'd like to do just what he said. I know I'm not as strong as I need to be, but I swear to you, I'll train until I am. What do you say? Can I call you my employer? Yes! It's official. I'll protect you no matter what.
Hello, Constance.
Greetings, Ferdinand. My condolences on your misfortune that our paths have crossed again.
Oh, dear. I am not used to hearing you deprecate yourself like that. Never mind. Just listen.
If it is an audience you require, I will endeavor to meet that need.
When we last spoke, I was attempting to connect with you. to listen and show you some empathy. But I was so clumsy with my words that I came across as callous and conceited. I hurt you. I know.
The notion that a noble of House Ire could display arrogance is difficult to credit. That you even deign to speak to me is a testament to your humility. As grateful as I am for the honor, it would be best for us both if I take my leave.
No, please, hear me out. Though your words chafed, I see now that they were perceptive. I was being arrogant. I tend to overcompensate. Perhaps I make a fool of myself, bragging about my superiority to Edelgard. Now, with my father's fall from grace, I have been dropped to my knees, utterly humbled. My house is in shambles. I have nothing. I do not even know my father's whereabouts.
I have heard and grieved for your predicament, but you must know that it is no reflection on your sterling quality, Ferdinand. Even in the face of such adversity, you never strayed from the correct path.
If this was the right path, the wrong path hardly bears thinking about. Still, your kindness has eased my worries a bit.
A wise noble once said that life is a series of peaks and valleys, but I have struggled to find the peaks. I was once pushed to the nadir of a valley, and have spent my days confined there ever since. There is little chance that I will ever return to the heights I once knew, but it will not be for lack of trying.
Your persistence is admirable.
You are too gracious. I see the highest of peaks on your own road. The way is steep, but not long. You will reach it yet. And if my words might reach the ears of a man who has attained such heights, perhaps one who has reached his summit might pull a climber up behind him? Such is my heart's desire, unspeakable though it may be.
Happy! I've been looking everywhere for you.
What's going on? Something urgent?
Oh no, but I promised to tell you the rest of the Luna Knight's tale, remember?
Huh. That was years ago, wasn't it? You have a good memory. If you really want to tell the story that badly, I guess just go ahead.
Okay, I will. Do you remember where I left off?
Well, you were telling me something about how the Luna Knight was hard on liars and cheaters.
Right. So her husband, Duke Regan, turns out to be a bit of a libertine.
That's hilarious. My favorite part was when she caught her husband in the act and tossed him out the window. I thought tales about knights were supposed to be straight-laced, but this one's raunchy as heck.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Usually these tales are pretty serious. But sometimes in a serious story, you need lighter moments like that to connect to the characters. It helps to see that even these great heroes made mistakes now and again. Just like us.
You're so trusting, Freckles. For some reason, I find it endearing. But you shouldn't take something at face value just because it's written down. The truth is, knights do plenty of things that aren't heroic at all. Things that hurt people.
You're not wrong. Some knights do terrible things. That doesn't make the great ones any less worthy of honor, though.
What about knights who have died taking a stand against the church? Would you call them great?
That's complicated.
Or what about the knights who put me in Abyss, promising to release me from my curse? When they couldn't, they left me there out of fear for what I might do. Does that sound honorable to you?
Happy, I'm so sorry.
Sorry. I can't help but say nasty things. Got any more stories for me? Maybe another racy one?
Yes, actually. I came prepared with the most, racy ones I could find, in case you happen to ask.
Of course you did. Let's hear one then.
There's no reason to feign ignorance. I know all about you.
What are you talking about?
Just come here.
Professor, help!
Don't interfere. Just hand the girl over to me. I'm telling you this for your own good. You're putting yourself in danger by associating with her. Do you know of the wandering beast stalking the woods in the Edmund territory? It is said that it attacks people every night and drags them off to feast. The true identity of the wandering beast is that girl right there.
No, I would never.
No matter. I'll get the evidence I need.
My apologies for getting you involved in that. In truth, that man has been following me ever since my father disappeared. He's a crest scholar. The crest that my father bore and was passed down to me, it was Maurice's crest. Yes, it's also known as the Crest of the Beast. It's said there were once 12 heroes who saved Fodlan. There was the King of Liberation, Nemesis, the 10 elites, and finally, Maurice. One day, Maurice suddenly transformed into a hideous beast and slaughtered innocent people. It was like when Miquelon of House Gautier turned into a black beast. The negative energy dwelling within his crest turned Maurice into a monster. The people of Fodlan grew to despise him, and he was stripped of his honor. His whole clan was conquered, and it was believed that his bloodline had vanished. But even now, there exists a few descendants who have inherited Maurice's crest and his curse. My family line is one of them. Maurice's crest is a symbol of disaster. Anyone who comes in contact with it is met with great misfortune. Those who carry the crest become beasts at night and slaughter innocent people. Yes, the rumor about the wandering beast in the woods. People are saying the creature is similar in appearance to Maurice's bestial form. That may be true, but I doubt I could do it on my own. If you and some of the others came with me, though. Thank you. But, promise you won't tell anyone about my crest? I'm sorry to have to ask, but thank you. Are you really the wandering beast that people talk about?
Do you bear our crest? For what purpose did you come here?
Our crest? Does that mean...
It appears that your presence has been detected by bloodthirsty demonic beasts.
Watch and learn. Demonic beasts! Everyone, please move carefully.
This forest is the den of demonic beasts. You will be lucky to make it out alive.
A fitting outcome.
My beastly blood is roused. You will not be able to stop me.
I must keep going.
Seems like fighting's all I do these days.
You're in my way!
lost that one. You should run.
That sword. It's the sword of the king. Are you the one who can liberate me?
We'll support you. Now's our chance.
In a hurry to die, are you?
Nothing will stop me from feasting upon your flesh and blood.
No, I won't let you. Yes! I won't let this hold me back.
Well done. Finally, this nightmare of 1,000 years is at its end. Oh, inheritor of my crest. If this body is to decay, then the sword, I leave it to you.
I still can't believe what we saw in that forest. The wandering beast's eviscerated body. Only human bones, and this sword remaining. Surely the creature's true identity was...
I'm sorry.
You again?
I heard rumor that the Wandering Beast was slain. But do you really believe that frees you of suspicion? Without proof that it was slain, the argument that you are not a beast does not stand. Furthermore, Huh? Oh, that sword!
When the wandering beast was defeated, this sword...
It's unmistakable. Carved into that sword's crest stone is Maurice's crest. But how would the lost magic blade end up with the Wandering Beast? According to what I know of Maurice's story, he didn't let go of the sword until the very end. That must mean... I see. So that's what happened. My apologies. It seems I was mistaken. I must be going.
So the wandering beast was... He was roaming the dark woods for over 1,000 years, suffering for his murderous past. It's true. And because of that, I feel as though my curse has been lifted. The blood of a beast no longer flows through me. I feel human for once. Thank you, Professor. I couldn't have done it on my own. Without your help, I would never have found peace. I'll do anything I can to repay my debt to you.
Hello, Flane. Isn't it about time you told me the truth?
About what exactly?
Who you really are. Villains are after you for your blood. There's no doubt that you're someone special. And that's why Sedith is always worrying about you so much, right?
Well, yes. I see no reason to hide that fact.
But just what makes that blood of yours so special? More than anything, I've been wanting to find out Teach's true identity. But yours is bothering me almost as much. Somehow, I can't seem to stop thinking about you. It's almost like a crush. I have a crush on your secrets, sweet Flame.
Such flattery.
I've tried asking Sedith, but there's no sign of him budging on the issue. At this point, I guess I just need better bargaining skills. Or how about this? If you tell me the truth, I'll do anything you say.
That is not something I am willing to share, unfortunately. However, since you are so passionate on the matter, I will promise you something.
What's that?
If you somehow manage to uncover the truth of my identity, I will acknowledge it as truth.
That's real nice of you and all, but I think if I could come up with the truth, I'd be able to tell from your reaction anyway. You're not great at hiding your emotions, after all.
If you do somehow figure it out, then I would ask something of you, Claude. I would ask that you reveal your own true identity.
Now that's a request I wasn't expecting.
It has been clear to me for quite some time now that you are no ordinary noble. I have been pondering, well, you, quite a lot lately. The curiosity is enough to drive me mad.
I see. Well, that's an interesting turn of events. Looks like we both have a little crush on our hands, huh? I hope the day comes when we can talk freely about both of our identities.
So, what is it, Yuri? You had me come all this way.
I need you for something. Have a seat. I won't take much of your time.
Okay.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. Here you are.
Oh, wow. Did you make this yourself?
I may not seem like much of a chef, but I know a thing or two about cooking. Looks tasty,
Can I, eat it now? I'm famished after all the training.
Have at. That's why I asked you here.
I see. Well, thank you. Don't mind if I do. This dish is divine. The first bite just melts in your mouth, and these vegetables are perfect. The flavors are interwoven together like a dance of swords between two myrmidons.
Calm yourself, Ingrid. I'm in no need of a critique. I just want you to enjoy it and take a load off.
Aw, thank you. I will. That was delicious, Yuri. I cannot thank you enough.
I'm glad. Then it was worth all the toil that went into preparing it.
You haven't eaten anything for yourself?
I figured I'd eat something a bit later. I didn't make the meal for me.
You cooked only for me?
Mm-hmm. The innkeeper provided me with some of his finest meat and told me to feed you. I figured if I was going to do it, I'd better do it right. So I popped into the kitchen and got working.
That won't do at all, Yuri. Meals are meant to be shared. It seems my stomach got the better of me this time, though. And I scarfed everything before remembering that.
Why bother yourself with such trivialities? The meal was a gift. Seeing you enjoy yourself like that is all the reward I need.
What way is that?
A bit like when you had all that meat stuffed into your cheeks at the marketplace. Like some kind of chipmunk. I like seeing the contentment on your face when you cut loose.
You do?
The innkeeper couldn't have said it better. She's got a real foodie face, that one.
I'm not quite sure how to feel.
Really, though. There are a few things I enjoy as much as seeing a woman indulging herself.
You should consider your words before using them. Such a flirtatious comment can only invite misunderstandings.
I didn't mean it that way.
I see. The sunlight brings back painful memories in you.
I'm afraid so. Please forgive my behavior from before. I cannot abide these indiscretions of mine.
That's all right. The way you always work so hard day and night, it's no wonder it's had this effect on you. You work harder than anyone I know. I've always been impressed by that, Constance.
That means a lot to me.
You know, at the School of Sorcery there was a professor who specialized in magical cures. Why not write her a letter? Perhaps she can suggest a treatment that might help.
I have tried. She could do nothing for me. But I vowed then to the goddess that I would find a way to overcome my trials. I will prove my skills to the goddess and everyone else, bringing me closer to restoring House Nouvelle.
You're a tough cookie, Constance.
Naturally, and with your support, I shall grow ever stronger by the day.
I know you will. You know, during the years of political turmoil, House Martreats was destroyed just as your house was. But restoring my father's house has hardly crossed my mind. I guess I'm not as tenacious as you are.
You needn't be so hard on yourself, Mercedes. You have had other priorities since then. Oh, I've just had a grand idea.
What is it?
You ought to try to reinstate House Martreats.
Oh dear. I'm not sure that's possible.
Nonsense! If I can restore my own house, then you can restore yours. As we work to further our own life goals, we shall learn so much that we can share with one another.
You make it sound so simple. How would I even go about that?
That is simplicity itself. You shall become a prodigy at spellcraft, as I am.
All right.
I shall master the black arts, and you shall master the white. The world will know us as sister sages.
I see.
Our names shall ring out across Fodlan, earning us the titles we rightly deserve.
I hope you won't mind me saying so, but this plan seems to have gotten a bit far-fetched.
Oh no! Not if you join me, Mercedes! Where one may fail, together we are bound to succeed!
She has such big plans, perhaps too big. In that way, at least, she's exactly the same as when she was little.
Sights set on the Imperial capital, the Alliance army chooses to march through the territory of House Gloucester, supporters of the Empire. Under the command of Nardell, the retainer of House Regan, the defensive forces of Houses Regan and Daphnel draw out the Gloucester troops. Thus, the Alliance army can continue its march toward the Great Bridge of Myrddin and cross the Aramid River, which separates the Alliance and the Empire.
The Great Bridge of Myrddin is in sight. Beyond it, the Empire.
What do you know? There aren't bridges that big in Elmira, that's for sure.
How unsettling. There are bridges in the southern part of Rhodelia territory, but nothing like this.
It's the most strategic location in that area to move a large army across the Aramid River. The Empire will want to hold on to it at all costs, so expect tough defenses.
You're right. The defenses are pretty impenetrable. Let's make our move carefully.
You're in command, Teach. Do whatever it takes to win. Well, other than sacrificing the lives of our allies for the sake of victory, try to avoid that. Let's get moving. We're counting on you, my friend.
That symbol. It's an enemy raid. Stay calm and face them head-on. Send a messenger to Acheron immediately. If we're quick, we might be able to pull off a pincer attack.
They say the enemy general, Ladislava, is among Edelgard's most trusted. Let's see what she's got. Our goal is to take down Ladislava and gain control of the bridge. Let's go.
It's over.
I must lead them well.
I fought and won.
You think we'll let you take this bridge from us?
Whoa, new enemies from the central fortress? By the looks of it, that might not be all of them. Looks like we can capture this fortress quickly if we take out the soldiers protecting it.
Enemies approaching.
get the soldiers standing by to join the fight. We may need to hurry up preparations of the ballista, too. Protect the fortress!
Can't afford to slack off.
Too close for my liking.
Acheron, now's the time to show your loyalty to the Empire. Attack the enemy from behind!
I've got to make my name known to Her Majesty through distinguished service.
Acheron the Weathervane. He's of the Alliance. He's a minor noble who holds territory to the north of Murden. If he's gonna support the Empire, no need to hold back. He's nothing but a nuisance, even to the Alliance.
Sorry it's gotta be like this.
Okay, I'm gonna do it! A little scratch won't stop me. Seems like fighting's all I do these days.
As they say, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not in for a beating, am I?
Don't have time for this!
I never should have aligned with the Empire.
We'll ally ourselves with the Imperial soldiers, too.
Thanks for making your way here. Annihilate the enemy with the rest of them.
You saw that!
I can do this!
For the future of Fodlan.
Prepare yourself! It is done. Onward. Hopefully I'll be more useful now.
You had your fun.
All this power just to survive. To repay Her Majesty's favor, I will not let you pass. Here's the plan.
I have an idea.
I've got no time for mercy.
I can't afford this setback.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Lady Edelgard! I'm sorry.
You're relentless.
I'm glad we defeated them here. I doubt they're an enemy we could win against twice. Well done, everyone. The Great Bridge of Murden is ours.
I was prepared for bloodshed, but that was more than expected. I guess I'm still not used to this.
Even our enemies were fighting for their own cause. They held out without fleeing until the bitter end.
That is true. I wouldn't want to become the type of person who feels nothing when someone dies.
Now it's on me to return to Alliance territory and convince those lords to join us. Lawrence, would you return home for the time being and lay the groundwork with your father?
Fine. After all, this is for the Alliance. Or rather, for all of Fodlan.
For those of you who live in Alliance territories, I ask that you return to your houses and spread the word about the current situation. Until we finish our preparations, Judith and the Knights will do everything in their power to defend the Great Bridge.
That's a casual way to dole out such a deadly mission, boy.
Do you object?
Just who do you think I am? I won't let the Empire pass this way, even if it costs me my life.
Too bad you're not allowed to die. Fight like your life depends on it, but flee if you're ever truly in danger.
A tall order, as always. I'll use my best discretion, Claude.
We have no objections either. Go forth and secure us a sufficiently powerful army.
I'll stay here too. The only ones I'd be going home to are my little sis and my grandpa.
Are you sure you don't want to see your sister? It may be a while before you can return home again.
But if I see her, I may not want to come back. So I'll wait till I'm done here.
Actually, I'd like for you to come with me, Teach, to help negotiate with the lords. They're followers of the Church of Seros, after all. It'll make things easier if we have someone there to speak on Rhea's behalf. All right, everyone. Let's meet back at the monastery next month. Good luck out there.
Is that you, kiddo?
I have returned, Nardell.
Oh, Master Claude, it's you. I mistook you for one of the local children. My apologies.
It seems you have adjusted to your work here. Our recent strategy was successful, thanks to you.
I was a bit concerned when House Goneril's army intervened from the east.
Count Gloucester must have requested reinforcements from them.
Yes, and they have that young general who won some acclaim from his battles in Almyra. Regardless, they showed no signs of seriously wishing to attack us, and merely fulfilled their obligations to House Gloucester. Now then, who is this lovely lady?
This is my professor, who I asked to join me at the Roundtable Conference. Teach, this is Nardell, that retainer Judith was talking about.
How polite. I've heard good things about you from Master Claude.
As you can see, he wasn't born in Fodlan. Still, trust me when I say he is highly capable.
True! In fact, my capability is my only redeeming quality. I hope you'll continue to look after Master Claude, Professor.